one, go. It is Monday, October 23rd at 6 p.m. and I call the special meeting of the Brainerd City Council to order. Administrator Bergman, please call the roll.
Stunek. Terry. Here. Stengline.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Chezak.
Yes.
O'Day.
Here.
Bevins.
Here.
And Badeau.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, item number 4. We have 3 items on the agenda, and only 3 items. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by O'Day, second by Chezak. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item 5 is new business. 5A is to accept the city administrator Jennifer Bergman's resignation as of what date? Oh, we're accepting it as of now. Any questions, comments? Is there a motion to accept that
I
resignation?
move to accept the resignation with regret.
Thank you,
Second.
Mr. Chezak. Thank you, Tiffany Stengline. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item 5, new business. 5B is authorize the general terms and for staff to begin negotiations for interim city administrator Patrick Wolsow. Is there a motion to direct staff to start those negotiations?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Terry, second by Johnson. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair.
Yeah, Mr. Chair.
President Bevins. I just wanted to ask a little bit about the procedure and how we got here. I understand the council leadership team met, and that consists of yourself, the president, the council president, 2 chairs of the committee. And is the mayor oftentimes included in that? And I understand he wasn't this time. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So my concern is with this is we effectively have a standing committee based on that dynamic. And I'm not suggesting in any way at all that anything nefarious took place, but we do talk about being transparent. And if the council president wants to call a special meeting, that can be done. So what we're doing here tonight, I don't really understand why there had to be a meeting of 3 voting members of the council to make this recommendation. So where I'm at with this is everything on our agenda appears that it could have all had taken place without that meeting. And I'm just concerned about the transparency of it and the public's right to know. So I thought this would be the appropriate time to make my concerns known. I'm not against anything I see here tonight necessarily. So I just wanted to express that concern. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Chezak. Any other comments? Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any other comments? All in favor, say aye. 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 Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Next up is item 5C. Authorize the hiring of a consulting firm to conduct city administrator search. Just one comment. We have a dollar figure on this, kind of approximately. Chris Hubert.
Good evening. So from Baker Tilly, the information we received, they are the firm that just did the Bemidji city manager search. Their amount was $26,000. At 3:30 this afternoon, I received a second email. This group was not on the League of Minnesota Cities vendor guide, but they did reach out to us. The other company that reached out was South Central Service Cooperative. And it appears that they are a little bit smaller than Baker Tilly as far as what they do. They gave me a couple of samples for the city of Byron and also Freeborn County. With that, their price was up to $16,500. They said they will provide a 2-year guarantee. So if the administrator would leave within the first 2 years, your second search would be first. Baker Tilly is a 1-year guarantee. I don't know much about this second firm. With that said, I did reach out to both Jennifer and Patrick to ask them if they had heard of this company before. It appears that Patrick is at least aware of one of the staff members that would work there. I have not worked with them before. I'm not sure. What I do know is that we've tried DDA in the past. The Baker Tilly search would be very similar to that. It appears that the South Central Service Cooperative may be a little bit different is in that they said that they would actually give you a recommendation for administrators that you should interview rather than you selecting them. So it may be just a tad bit different process. I'm not sure what the council's comfort level would be with that. With
What
that,
was
do you have any
dollar figure
questions?
one more time, please?
So Baker Tilly was 26,000 and the South Central Service Cooperative was up to 16.5. With that said, Sourcewell also has a consultant reimbursement program where they would reimburse 50% up to $10,000. I did reach out to them, but the person was unavailable. We just got an email back that she'll be back in the office tomorrow and give me more details. So just to let you know on that amount as well.
President Bevins.
Yeah, Mr. Chesak.
You talked about the Baker Tilly is selection through resume and not interview. Is that correct?
No, they would actually do an interview process very similar to what we did with DDA, so that they would apply through DDA. They then submit their resume, and then they also submit like a one-sided interview type of thing. They are actually interviewed, and they get the questions right before the information, and then they're recorded live, basically. Jennifer could maybe talk about that process if you want to discuss that a little bit more, because she went through the DDA process with us.
Yeah, I would like to know the difference between who is interviewed how and then what we would get as council members in that respect, as far as are we able to meet the individuals that they're recommending, that type of thing.
I don't know, Jeff, if we know anybody who's ever used the South Central Service Cooperative, so we may not be able to get that comparison that you're asking for.
I just got it at 3:30 this afternoon, Jeff, and I talked to the gentleman as soon as I could. He gave me his profiles for those two communities, the city of Byron and Freeborn County. But other than that, I have not had a chance to do any reference checks.
Where are they from?
They are from North Mankato.
Jennifer, do you have anything to add to the process? No?
I don't really, except for, as Chris mentioned, I submitted a resume and then did an online video where they prompted you with questions. You had so much time to answer those questions, and then I believe those questions and answers were sent to City Council. So that, I think,
Yep.
is what Chris is referring to.
That was the DDA thing, Jeff. So I've seen that, and those files may still be around.
And Baker Tilly follows the same type of process. That's why I bring up the DDA process, because I know that quite a few of the council members were here when Jennifer was hired, and they would follow that same process for you.
Hang on one second. Jeff, anything else?
Thank you.
Kara?
So not being familiar necessarily with this process, does Bladek do any sort of recruiting with Mike there? And
We have not used Bladek before for this type of search. They did not reach out to us. I did not reach out to them. I guess we've never just done that with Mike Birkness.
okay, just curious.
Gabe, Chairman Johnson?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. I mean, if we get the contract that we just approved to negotiate done with Patrick Wussow, it'd be 24 to 30, 28 hours a week or something like that.
Yep.
So it wouldn't be full-time. It wouldn't include a lot of the benefits we pay an employee through the end of the year. So I think we're saving a lot of money. So I think whether it's 26 or 16,000, I think we'll be in under budget by the end of the year, regardless of which option we choose.
Chairman O'Day?
I just want to add we could save even more money if Patrick decides to stay for just 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, something
Yeah.
like that.
Maybe not. Negotiator. I would feel uncomfortable, I think, going with a completely unknown. If we had a list of cities that had used this company and maybe that's there. I mean, maybe we put this off. But part of the reason that we're here tonight is because of timing. We have 3 weeks till the next, we have a big gap to the next council meeting. It seemed like if we were going to start the process, with the holidays coming up, we better get moving. Because probably, at the very best, we'll be hiring for an early January start, early 2024 start time anyway, outside of the fact that we drug and kidnapped Patrick. So, okay, so I guess my thoughts would be to probably go with Baker Tilly. I see her. Tiffany, for gosh sake, go. Time. Go ahead.
So I have two questions. One is that the other, I just wanted to make sure that we did not hear from the other one that was on. Okay. And then the second question was, so around the time I came on, we were going through the police chief search. And as I recall, we were not happy with DDA at all. So I'm willing to be corrected on that. Is it the process that Baker Tilly would also be following here that we weren't happy with? Or is it something unique to DDA that we weren't happy with?
Mike?
I think what the miscommunication was there, was what they were advertising the full pay scale instead of the hiring pay scale. So we had candidates that, in the end, we chose that weren't accepting the position because they expected a higher pay than what we were going to start with. Am I correct?
Yes.
That was one thing we learned from that process, how that was right after we implemented our new performance-based pay. So we've changed how we advertise since then. The other thing is we used to have a civil service commission, and that really muddied up the waters for that police chief hiring process. To me, DDA did a good job. I thought Gary Wires was very good. With that said, we use them for a couple of our city administrator searches. We haven't had much luck, and that's part of the reason why I said maybe we look at a different company and see if there's other options at this point.
Thank you. Tiffany?
That was it for discussion.
Perfect. Chris, do we have to pick one tonight? If we're gonna-
We don't have to. With that said, we are really getting close to the holidays. So we're going to hit what I basically would call a dead zone for applications. People aren't going to apply right around the Thanksgiving timeframe, and they're also not going to apply those couple of weeks between right before Christmas and after the New Year's. So we either need to go right away so we can get this process started, and that's part of the reason why we asked for the council leadership group to meet so that we can move forward and keep going. It would be nice if we could, but if you would like more information, I definitely can try to get more information for you.
Do we have any idea how long Patrick would be willing to serve?
There was no end date.
I mean, Patrick? That is correct. Oh, that clears that up. Mr. O'Day?
That was the same question I was going to ask.
Mr. Johnson?
I'm good.
All right. Mr. Chesak?
I think we should look at the way we're paying for this is through tax dollars, and we should look at the lower of the priced options we have and perhaps come back and examine that more thoroughly with the time we have if we don't approve this tonight. So I'm in favor of checking out the option, let's call it C at this point.
Letting it ride. Okay? Is that a motion?
Yeah, I'll move to do that, exactly that. We come back
Okay.
on the 6th and explore that option more thoroughly.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Mr. Johnson?
I'll support the motion to come back on the 6th after having looked into more detail. I think we should probably have more conversations with Patrick on what a while means between now and the 6th.
Right. Well, we have authorized staff to negotiate, so we'll hopefully, I bet you we'll know by this.
But I don't want to hire a search consultant if a while means 3 years.
Right.
Negotiate a while.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Any other comments? Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. We're looking for a move to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Chesak, second by O'Day. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. We're done. Thank you for coming in.
Go Vikes.
Under 15.